does is it self-organizes, and you get a structure emerging, right? But then at some point, the structure goes critical. The structure can't actually maintain its own growth. And what you see in the sand pile is it avalanches. And what happens is that's an increase in entropy. The mutual predictability between the sand particles drops. It goes, right? Now, if there's too much criticality, it breaks. But if there's not, what happens is the avalanche spreads the sand out, and now a bigger base starts to emerge, and it can go higher than it could before. So it cycles between, right, it's self-organizing, and then the criticality means it can transcend as it self-organizes. And what you can look at in the brain is you can look at the part that corresponds to the mound being formed. Neurons they will fire in synchrony together, and when they're firing in synchrony together, that tends to correspond when you get a gestalt in aha, right? And then what they do is they break apart and they fire asynchronously. The entropy goes up, and that allows a new synchrony to form. And then they break apart, and a new synchrony, and it oscillates. And this is at many levels of analysis, between small groups of neurons all the way up to the entire brain. And what that is doing, I argue and have argued and published, is what that corresponds to frame making and frame breaking in insight. And Stephan and Dixon, for example, have measured entropy when you're going through an aha moment, and that's what happens. You're at this level, and then the entropy really increases, and then you drop to a level that's even more highly ordered in your behavior than before the insight. So you've got an insight, which is a problem-solving experience, phenomenology. It maps into the self-organizing criticality, which you can actually see happening in the brain. That's self-organizing criticality. Small world network I could do too, but it's the self-organizing criticality is how it fires, and the small world network is the way in which your brain connects. So the brain is not connected randomly, and it's not connected regularly. It's connected in this really interesting pattern that tends to optimize between efficiency and resiliency in a network. What's really cool is you'll see the internet organizes as a small world network. Airlines organize as a small world network, right? And so, and it's like, why? So you get these patterns.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Hello and welcome to the Saturn Day Social episode live stream on, I guess, apparently, YouTube's Twitch and Twitter, because why not? The special thanks to the Shadow Cabal that makes all of this possible. There's multiple ways to join. The best is probably getting a hoodie before winter with Lobster Monkey Goose on it. Hey, but if you don't, you can also become a member of the Shadow Cabal by clicking the link called Shadows up above. Got some very exciting times for us today. I've made several of these things, and first up on the hit parade is the announcement I am making to you now, before you even have saving throws. That deep within the hey guys, it's us. The numbers say you're there, but the Hive Mind chat doesn't. I don't know what to make of it. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. But via the power of the dream catcher of optimal grip, I have caught that year 4 of Larpgate will in fact be the fall inversion. I'm very excited. This season has been the Larpgate season itself, and the previous seasons are all available in the replays below. Or you know, Odyssey. They're all on Odyssey or something. Yeah. I bet I do. Witcher. Good to see you. Thanks for being here and providing me your views. Your time and attention is valuable, and if you're going to spend it, why not spend it on me? This is the Saturday Social, and I've just made the Larpgate Year 4 announcement. It's going to be the fall inversion. I hope it goes more successfully than the blow your whistle in a sea shanty baby, and all your dreams will come true one. Now is time for you and your... Hold on, I got to make the announcement go away. And then now, because I did that, we need to do something like... Welcome to the Virtually Not Alone show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think you can do it. I think you have it in you. I know that you have what it takes to comment in the Hive chat today. I know you've been shy, but you've been here and you're looking forward to being part of it. Today might just be the day. You can do it.
They don't get encouragement. And people need so little encouragement. It's just unbelievable.
And now for the savings throws for today's Saturday Social. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, and heart. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows. And if it's under 10, you take full damage from the mind control that follows. But if you've chatted in the Hive Mind chat, you do get the +2. And if you've made a comment on a live stream replay, that's a +4. So there's ways. You can rig the game. And over on the Discord, if you get an Indigo 7, you can apply that to either the heart, social, wisdom, or survival choices, which you now should choose. Oh no! Out of the box. 2 of the dice are out of the box. But for the survivalist tonight, we have a 15. A 15 for the socialist. A whopping 4. Lovers of wisdom, out of the box 9. Like solving your own 9-dot problem. The wisdom folks got a 9 tonight. Heart folks, doubling that with a powerful 18. And Indigo kids, you got a 15 tonight. 3 5s of you. Welcome, everybody.
Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. We saw it on the television.
Welcome, Stephanie and Desmond, to the stream. Choosing sleep is wisdom, Stephanie. But I don't. Witcher is asking what happens when there's over 20. If you're over 10, you're good. So let's make something up for that. I don't know yet. So let's feed the ducks a minute, because the other day on the Ballbird Network, which has lately been showing me like just really disgusting things, one of which was a duck farm, and now I've decided maybe veganism has more going for it than those zealot evangelists of it would have us believe. And interestingly enough, one of the videos I did catch today was from the guy, and so let's see if we can find the part. I actually want a quote from it. But first, welcome. Yeah. But I'm gonna try and make it a long one. So there's that. He called this video of maps and men. His channel is Ein Sof, Infinite Reflections. And he is, well, I'll let him introduce himself in his own videos. Here we go. I'll go down here.
Hi, it's me, the guy. So, yes, I am Joe Schmo, and not a rabbi, Yosef.
That's Joe Schmo on the Broken Clock Tower Discord, where all the cool kids hang out and where we chat in the Broken Clock Tavern. He's Joe Schmo over there, maybe with some numbers at the end. He's a good guy.
Just to clarify, for those of you who may have caught my short clip on keeping Grizz up all night. So,
that scarred me because he tagged when I used to watch the Rhonda lady on USA Up all night when I lived in Hawaii as like a 9 to 11-year-old, because back then set in Hawaii meant you got to see late night West Coast time because of the oceanic difference in time zones.
I'm still catching up. First, thank you, Grizz, for taking my encouragement. It was great. So I had that model view in my head, and I was like, I kind of thought like, I wonder what that model would say. But then I was like, well, why do I have to think about what model Grizz would say? I could ask the real Grizz. And guess what? It's a good idea, because that way I check in and everything checks out. And of course, you always say things that I don't expect.
Witcher asked what years I was on. I was on Oahu from ages 9 to 11 or something. So if your agency has my file, then you should be able to determine the years through the power of deductive reasoning.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
Now over here on this Ein Sof Infinite Reflections channel, which will appear in the description and or maybe a comment after the live stream wraps. I have left the following beautiful comment. Are you there? Where I say to him, about 27 minutes in, I notice it, and I have to wonder if it happened while you were sitting in the car or not. It definitely looks targeted. And so we'll jump to about 27 minutes in, and we'll do a special. If you can deduce what I was commenting about in the Hive Mind chat, you will get a +5 to next stream saving throws, and maybe the mind control will be really, really handy then. So guess once again, the beautiful comment is, I notice it, and I have to wonder if it happened while you were sitting in the car or not. It definitely looks targeted.
Because, my modeling, it's actually, you're one of the harder people to model. To various degrees, or even maybe directly exchanging ideas with each other, though I'm a little more skeptical about some of those theories, at least a much later period. But this is, but it's really hard for me to ignore that the Eastern Church, all the churches, but especially the Eastern Church, with its with the icons, with the eastern orientation toward the sun, as opposed to being all orienting to one point.
All right. I have failed to find the right spot. I searched for the word concessions, and that was the first one. But the one I actually, here we go. It's 30 minutes in, the one I actually wanted to play. Let's see, there's no guesses in the Hive Mind chat, but I did want to highlight this comment. JBP Live was fun, met some cool Catholic kids outside, and one was breathing fire. Are you the person, Jasmine, who attended the JBP Live session where he spoke about his rejection of the Holy Spirit? And/or the meaning of music meditation, in which the living room and the imagination. The one I made the video about, I really shouldn't play. But did anybody? Okay, so for those of you at home that are only listening, he's driving around in his car in this footage, and about 27 minutes in, I noticed this on his window, near where if the window had been down, it would have been a direct hit upon his cheek. This thing I mentioned, and birds aren't real. Birds are not real.
Fuck what you heard! It's what you hearing. It's what you hearing. Listen, it's what you hearing.
I'm hearing a couple things in that. I'm hearing beauty plays a role.
Of course.
I'm hearing also that whatever the subjective character of the experience that is elicited by the encounter is itself a measure of the value of the encounter, and is itself a measure of whatever the potential value is in continuing the relationship.
Right.
It's what you hearing. Listen, it's what you hearing. Listen.
Welcome to the Saturday social live stream, where I don't know. So shall we all. So shall we all. Don't forget, this Beholder and Rascal are both featured on the visual presented in front of you now. Know them, love them. Beholder loves you, and you can get her on a tank in the description, on a summer tank. She's right there, and it's rumored that if you wear that tank, she can actually see what the eye on the shirt perceives. But who knows? That sounds like crazy mumbo jumbo to me. All right, now I do have these topics I want to go over, but first, it's been way too long since we've had anything of a Reaper's Harvest, and I wanted to go way back in time to May something, when Clint D provided the following clips. This one, he says, be aware of the wise path, and then gives people a hint I'm not reading.
Where they're going to be abused, where they're going to be hurt, and they don't know what they're looking for. And I think that's going back to my earlier point. Like, a lot of men and women don't know what they want when they're young, which is why it's so helpful to have older people around you to say, to save you from your foolishness and be like, no, you think you want that, but you don't. And that's what Proverbs is kind of about as well. It's like, yeah, she looks good, buddy, but death is waiting on the other side of that. So, be aware of the wise path. But we're only getting half the picture.
Well, howdy, Rascal.
Well, howdy, Mudad. In case you didn't know, Mudad I don't know, it's probably terribly inappropriate, but I consider her the mother of Lobster Monkey Goose, because she is the artist responsible. Therefore, you can find her work in the link in the description. Good to see you. I hope everything is well. Now we have a second clip from Clint D. During this Reaper's Harvest. Just catching Pastor Paul over here with catching the no tick.
Information simply gets thrown out the window. It's like, nope, we're just bang, Gnostic selves projected, no, we are formed and marriage, no, we are, nope, we're just bang, Gnostic selves project it. No, we are.
See, there's the clip stream room in the Reaper's Hall on the Discord is where I do these Reaper's Harvest from. However, in the Resonance Hall on the Discord, there is the Social Memory Complex, which is also an appropriate location for a clip such as this, which is a place. The Social Memory Complex room on the Discord is designed to be a place for people who weren't here at the time to wander through the hall and revisit the things that it's like it's like watching a video on double speed. You're reliving all the social glue moments that we experience, and like the in jokes. You should be able to catch after reviewing a properly functioning social memory complex. What? Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. It doesn't have any sound, but it does have Beholder in it, and that one's special. Oh. This is from a tweet discussion I've been having with Justin, the documentarian, who I've made contact with at Chino. He took several confessions. He theoretically is working on a documentary that will immortalize what's been going on here, at least recently. And now to wrap up this segment of Reaper Harvest, we have one from Lynn Lavoie called Relational Aggression in Women.
Looking at relational aggression. So
Right,
women may use different ways, not physical or less physical, and gossiping, for example, spreading lies. There are a few others that exploit the verbal abilities of women and allow them to be nasty to people that they think deserve it. And so those people are working actively on trying to get a measure of sadism that would apply to women even more than to men, because
He didn't include a single word from Papa Peters. And thanks for that Reaper's clip there, Lynn. You too, if you're on the Discord, can contribute to the Reaper's Harvest in the clip stream. And now, I did that already. What's this? That's that I did already. Okay, well, now what does STP? What does I'm on awe mean? Is that a new drug they have where you live? I don't know exactly what that means. Oh dear. Remember it.
This agency. We want.
Okay, but that was the wrong one for what you're about to do. In awe. Well, that sounds like a better state than Oklahoma, right?
On the list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Grandma.
Oh, as a disclaimer, I'm going to have to cut that like way down to just the magic missile part. So all of you who have experienced the fullness of this branding thing, rejoice. The next time you see it, it'll be the short version I'm working on.
On the list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
For shame on me for thinking elephant. I forgot to do the card for today's show, and I'll do that as we move toward toward the thing I'm about to talk about next, which are hindrances. I don't know if you're aware or have heard of them, but I have one, which I call the irreverence hindrance, which means, as far as I can tell, everybody else came out of just like me. And so, while like they may have read some books or anything, the books they read were by people who just came out, and nobody really knows what's going on. And we're all trying to figure it out together. And the people who think they act like they know what's going on are usually, I don't know, overconfident just to feel better. There's these things called knowledge compartments in which we orient ourselves as we approach our lives, okay? And if you're certain, then it provides a stability to your operation within your knowledge compartment. And if you're uncertain, actually that will be that discussion is part of the upcoming KAIROS and game theory segment of this long ass episode. But right now we're doing the little card trick and then talking about hindrances. And why, Graham, are we going to talk about hindrances? Well, I'll tell you. Because Larpgate Year 3 that we're currently in is going to include a game of streamed Deadlands on this channel if it still exists, and somewhere else if it doesn't. Where it's a role playing game, and you play. It's an alternate universe, 1800s ish, and you're going to be in Deadlands, and you might be a gunslinger or a hex slinger. And in the game there's a story over on my Substack featuring a hex slinger. The deal is they're wrestling demons to do magic, and it looks like a card trick to everybody else. And in that game, and we're going to play as part of Larpgate Year 3, which I have to get a move on because, as you all know, Larpgate Year 4 has been announced. The fall Inversion begins September 19th. But here in Larpgate Year 3, we're going to do a Deadlands game, and Deadlands has hindrances. And since the whole world is changing because of it, I've used the magical of the Fancy Pants AI to provide a list of hindrances for us to discuss here today on this episode of the show. Does your plant have a name? Is it succulent? I've been told it's a snake plant. A snake plant. And now, can I zoom in? No? Or, yes, kind of. All right. So I had the bard ask. No. So if you are at all a person who might consider live streaming as you play a role playing game on through StreamYards, you might want to pay attention to these hindrances, because how it works in the game is if you give yourself a hindrance in the game, you also get to pick a benefit. You get points, you can buy benefits called something not hindrances worth. And now the card for the show, by the way, is the 4 of clubs. Okay, so so in case you're interested in playing with us in that Deadlands experience, you might want to be choosing some of these to enact during the role-playing session. And if you're not, perhaps just reviewing a list of things considered as hindrances is a fantastic moment of self-reflection afforded to you by this virtually not alone experience, which has been brought to you by the Shadow Cabal of production executives. Thank you very much for bringing us this 3rd year of Larpgate. And don't forget, villages breathe heroes. That's completely unrelated. Completely unrelated. Have you named your snake plant? That's none of your business, sir. Please list the hindrances from the Deadlands Wild West Savage Worlds RPG along with their descriptions. The first one listed is addiction. The character is addicted to a substance or activity such as alcohol, gambling, or violence. This can lead them to making poor decisions and putting themselves in danger. Affliction. The character suffers from a physical, or mental condition that impairs their abilities. This could be anything from a chronic illness to a debilitating phobia. So, now, it would be foolish for me to suggest that this reality works at all like Deadlands, but if you find yourself existing with a hindrance, consider the fact that you might have also purchased your character an edge. And if you have purchased your character an edge, it's important to recognize, hone, and master it, because that's what your adventuring party is going to need, or will be best served by from you. No, Rascal is the second lobster monkey's name. He's the one here on this shirt. Howdy. And he also hey, whoa, swings in from time to time because he's also had a felt physical manifestation. A felt physical manifestation. So back to the list of hindrances you may or may not be choosing from, if you'd like to play with us in Deadlands, and then some other things that might have earned you an edge if this reality functions at all like the game does. A bad reputation. The character has a bad reputation in town due to their past actions or affiliations. This can make it difficult for them to get a help or cooperation from others. Gee, I want... Is anyone in the corner suffering from a bad reputation? What do you think their edge is? A bounty on his head, a crippling injury, a code of honor. What is it? What is it with this game? They call a code of honor not only a hindrance but a major one. The character is bound by a strict code of honor that prevents them from doing certain things, such as lying or stealing. This can make it difficult to function in the wild west. Some other hindrances available to those playing with us and those afflicted with us, or among us in the world. Criminal records, a death wish, delusions, an enemy, a flaw. What? The character has a personality flaw that makes them difficult to work with or trust. This could be anything from being overly confident to being paranoid. Greed, a habit. But how is this different from addiction? Can I take addiction and habit and make it the same? Hard of hearing, heavy sleep, illiterate, lame, loyalty is just a minor hindrance. Lying eyes, being mean, don't fat shame, man. That's inappropriate. Oh my God. How dare you fat shame us? Let's see what else. Sickly, secret, sluggish, reckless, quick temper, poor aim, pacifist, overconfident, then old ways oath. Oh, they can't use the Amish. They take an Amish oath. So there's a quick run through of some sample hindrances, and just remember, if you find yourself facing one in the game, you might have an edge you may or may not have discovered about yourself already. And Witcher says Rascal reminds him of an Indiana Jones swinging from the ceiling to save the day, and I do try to have him save the day when the show's, you know. This is Iggy. He's not on the shirt yet. So, hello. I see the assassins have failed. In case you're just joining us, I am General Griswold Gaius Grim of the First LARP Ingression Protocol, and this is the Saturday social stream where I have announced the theme of Larpgate Year 4 and have gone over now to interact with the hive mind by putting Witcher in timeout. And I don't know why. Oh look, you missed one where Stephanie said a thing. I think it's because he's not giving other people enough time to chat, and it feels like the environment he's creating. I don't know, man. I don't know why I was compelled to do that. I'm not. It's in my shadow somewhere, and I can't light it. If you can possibly interpret why I found myself unable to not take such an action, please let me know in the replay comments. I don't want to talk about it now.
I'm gonna have a look at you.
Meanwhile, the topics you did want to get to, Grim. What? DADA is what? Oh, this one. All right. DADA. All right. I gotta, let's see. Let's do some daydreaming here for a minute. Was today Saturday or is today Saturday? Today is Saturday. Okay, so I should be getting a new audio clip from Nolan today, later this afternoon. We've been working on it. On Saturdays. All right, let's see. For those of you completely uninitiated, DADA around here stands for Defense Against Defense Against the Dark Arts, because much like the Potter crew faced a corrupt institution, it seems that maybe things are leaning that way for us, and therefore, as the Potter crew found their way to the Room of Requirements to form a Defense Against the Dark Arts class of their own. Similarly, we're doing that around here these days. I'm really trying to get Kayla and Justin together for me with an episode on that. Help pressure them if you're in their sphere of influence. YSK is part of my cryptocurrency scheme, and it's short for You Should Know. And so the tick in this case stands for Total Information Control. And the question I have then, therefore, is in the purpose of Defense Against the Dark Arts, is it appropriate for an adult citizen in our modern time? Is the concept of total information control something that an adult of our times should be cognizant of? Is it something you should know? That's the question I have for you today. And the concept of total information control was highlighted to me through the existence of a logo confirmed with a quick check of Wikipedia. And let me see if I can find it and show it to you now. Yes, here it is. This beast. No, not that one. This beast. The Information Awareness Office from DARPA, with this logo of the pyramid shining a light on the round planet. That's a thing. That's a thing. And according to the Wikipedia thing, Congress defunded it in 2002. But the goal of that agency was information awareness. And I believe by now we've progressed to total information control. And that is the manifestation that things seem to be coalescing toward in the world we live in today. And so the question again is it necessary for as part of our defense against the dark arts around here to be, at least us, if not every adult, be aware of the concept of total information control? the answer to that question, in my humble opinion, depends upon where in the kayfabe layer cake your operant knowledge compartment is. Essentially, there's layers at which the concept of total information control is irrelevant to you. And if you have a functioning irrelevance realization engine, you'd be like, this is beyond this does not, I am unable to influence it, or its influence is irrelevant to me, depending on where I am in the kayfabe layer of cake. But as a responsible adult, is total information control, is the concept of information warfare, is what's a limited hangout. Are these things necessary to us in our defense against the dark arts class, and or is it just stuff you should know? Big question. Let me know what you think in the comments. I too, like Pastor Paul, read them, and I heart everyone that I can't not heart. But some of them you just can't heart because it looks like you're agreeing with what they're saying and you don't want to. You know. I'm just gonna reset a little. Just a short reset. Here's the.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Hello. Okay. Hey, welcome back. First of all, Jesmon, and welcome back, Marty. You both get a +2 to next stream saves for catching me muted. If you had used the ear logo or some other emoji, the ear emoji, to tell me I was muted before I noticed it myself, then it would be a +3 in case you wanted to know. But +2 is pretty good, right? So we're now beginning our investigation into oh wait, no, it's under banners. What? Yeah, the KAIROS and game theory. My hypothesis is that the KAIROS moment that we may or may not be in, according to the rules of game theory, would indicate that the way to play the game would be in a scarcity mindset or like in an apocalyptic mindset. And I think maybe not. We need to look into this KAIROS thing a little closer. And so that's the adventure we'll be having today. Oh, hello, Freedom's Lunch. I see the assassins have failed. And as a disclaimer, I must confess, I represent the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, as well as the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. We're people too. We're people too. We are people too. What? None of the ones you left in here have sound, bro? Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best. Now, as we traditionally do from time to time, we revisit our good friend Miriam over at the Merriam-Webster.com website, which I'm sure has betrayed us with woke ideology, yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, the suggested searches of Bauer, Obstinate, Rarefied, Disappropriation, Maudlin, and Gamut. Why would you? On what basis would one suggest a search? What from our cookies must it be pulling to generate a search suggestion such as disapprobation? What the?
Disapprobation.
The act or state of disapproving, the state of being disapproved or condemnation. But that's not why we're here, Miriam. Miriam, we're here for KAIROS. KAIROS today. What is that? All right, I didn't like that 4 clubs. We're pulling another one. For the rest of the show, the card of the show is the King of Clubs. It's getting even worse. It's getting even worse. Yay. Oh, the plural is kairoi. A time when condition. Oh. A time when. It's a time when conditions are right for the accomplishment of a crucial action, the opportune and decisive moment. So while the apocalyptic nature of everything we see around us is would indicate maybe it's time to play tight, scarcity, just survival mode, raw. Perhaps the fact that it is a kairos moment, one of an opportune and decisive moment. Perhaps the appropriate reaction is not behaving in a scarcity survival mindset, but something better, something synchronous, something harmonious, something transcendental. Remember it.
There is no agency. We want
Who? What is this? What is this top knot? Who's got a top? Am I not? What? I had one. It's gone now. Okay, and as we do when we visit our good friend Miriam, we reveal the secret message. Oh dear. That we assemble from the words of the day recently, including meet cute, a term that refers to a cute, charming, or amusing first encounter between romantic partners. And obstinate basically means stubborn. The gist, which is almost always appears in the phrase the gist, refers to the general or basic meaning, the essence, perhaps. Oh, yes, in other words, the essence. I didn't catch every word, but I heard enough to get the
gist
of it. And hey, shout out to Gist with Joe, who pretends I don't exist for reasons I suspect glow. Enthrall, which means
enthrall,
which means to hold the attention of someone by being very exciting, interesting, or beautiful. Or in other words, to charm. To charm. And Nemesis. Nemesis, which is the video clip I no longer play after having presented Jonathan Peugeot with his Nemesis masterpiece, comic book, graphic novel thing, Promethea. So maybe, but so you don't have to suffer through that clip anymore, right? So we have Nemesis enthralled the gist of the obstinate meet cute. And so that must mean that the special message of the day is I don't know. You guys figure it out. We'll give a +7 Indigo. It's really late here. It's really late here. Janice, you're in survival mode soon. Oh no. Ultimate diagnosis this week? Wow. Prepare us a space, Janice. What Janice, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. Let's ohm. That's all I can think to do. That's all I can think to do with such news. Oh oh, when my thoughts escaping. Oh, where my music's playing. Oh, where my love lies waiting. Girl, if you trolling, love you, Janice. For what's left of the oh wait, there was one more part promised in the description. Promised in the description. Let's see if we can find it. Wait, before we do, oh, dude, remember what you did? No, what I did was I typed KAIROS into my into the search bar, and since I used Discord through the browser, it brought up this little KAIROS moment, a collection in the loop from the Loom Room, I believe. Let's see here. Yes, Jay has put together this little KAIROS moment collection. It involves a lot of words and the conversation. Let's sample it a bit, shall we?
Sometimes I imagine myself as let's say a Russian peasant in the 19th century, and how the patterns in which people were living were so naive. They were true. A lot of them were true and were real, but they were very innocent. And so in some ways, they were very much in danger. And so when the materialist, secularist narrative comes in, people get crushed. You know, and I saw that even when I was young. I would see people with a very confident but naive.
Welcome, everyone. I'm very pleased to be participating in this collaboration with Dr. Justin Sledge from Esoterica, Philip Home from Let's Talk Religion, Dr. Angela Puccia from Angela's Symposium, Dana Trella from The Modern Hermeticist, and my good friend Zevi Slavin from Seekers of Unity. We are collaborating to bring to the forefront, where it more properly belongs, the ancient but still currently vital philosophical framework of Neoplatonism, a profound way to understand reality and transform oneself in wisdom into a greater comportment and attuned affinity with that reality.
Hi, this is Paul. The Rest is History has a two-part episode this week on Jesus the mystery and Jesus the history. Now, if you're just using the regular feed from The Rest is History, you've only gotten Jesus the mystery so far. If you're a Rest is History Club member, then you get both episodes at once. Now, I'm not going to let you know what I'm thinking about.
Paul is always good at selling things. Good morning, Greek. Good morning. That coffee emoji you put there, I am presently lacking. So, as a special present to you and everybody else who's around, what I'm going to do is bring up the from the past of this very channel. I will journey now to this thing here, and what was it? Experience of God. And I will play this for you while I go and get some beverage.
I had a very intense religious experience at one point. This was back in 1985 when I was a graduate student, and I was listening to the Jupiter Symphony. This happened, man. So this happened. I was really concentrating hard on that mandala and the sky opening up and God sort of peering forth through the clouds. And that's exactly what seemed to happen to me. It was something like another dimension, classically something like the Holy Ghost, I suppose. Well, it was like being in heaven. I could feel myself transformed, transmuted as a consequence of this experience. Then I felt that whatever had descended, it seemed that as if it was sorrowful, and it departed from me slowly. Whereas I shook physically for about half an hour after that experience, like I was shaking, like you shake after a car accident. What is the story behind the logo that you use in your intros? Where did it come from? That logo is called The Meaning of Music, and it's actually a sculpture that I made in 1985. It's a three-dimensional representation of a two-dimensional representation of a four-dimensional object. It's a representation of time and space. You know how music unfolds and then something else unfolds within it, and then it unfolds again within it, like a rose opening into the day, or like a lotus flower that sort of comes up from the darkest depths up through the dark water and then blooms on the surface of the water in the sun. It's a Mandela image, and for Jung, the Mandela was a symbol of the self, and the self was something that unfolds like music, which is actually why we like music. And I had a very intense religious experience at one point when I was contemplating that. I'd been reading Jung a lot at that point, like for months of intense reading. So this was back in 1985 when I was a graduate student, and I was listening to the Jupiter Symphony. This happened, man. So this happened. So I was really watching that mandala, that quarter mandala that I had made intensely, and listening to the music, trying to understand what the music was signifying. I was really concentrating hard on that mandala, and I was standing in my living room, and then I had this very strange experience. the sky opening up and God sort of peering forth through the clouds. And that's exactly what seemed to happen to me, is that I had this sense. It was like a vision, although I was still in my living room and knew it. But inside the theater of my imagination, I could feel the sky opening up. Now, the only way I can really think about it is that it was something like another dimension. And then I could feel this force descend.
I can't not hear the Beastie Boys every time I play that. It's like, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension. Speaking of another dimension, I don't feel we've investigated KAIROS nor Jupiter enough, to be frank, because by Jove, Jupiter and Zeus are the same as far as I know. And KAIROS is a Greek god. But all right, fine. The house I put in the description the House of Winston, so I got to do. The lyrics? I need the lyrics, sir. So I got to do a little bit of that, and then I can almost get out of here, I think. Here. What? Just stop it. What? Remember it. All right. As far as the House of Winston goes, all I'm going to say is choose a side. Do we have anything left? Oh, yes, you were going to do a Q&A. What? Yeah. So, if anybody has any questions, we're now doing a Q&A because everybody else does, like a beefcake kayfabe. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives that make this all possible. You guys, thank you. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It means a lot to me. It makes me feel like I'm doing something important So let's see. Like, does anybody come up with a question and we can keep this going? If not, good night, Janice. Love you. Blessings. And if you're trolling me, I swear you won't be. All right, so I put the headphones in, I put the link down, and that's what makes it a Saturday social. If anybody's up at 4:30 in the morning, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we plug in the headphones over there, and then we drop the fancy pants link over here. And there we go. There's that. If anybody wants to come play in the meanwhile, I guess I'll be asking myself questions shortly. It's nothing appeared to be appearing. What? Dude, stop. Here's this one again. All right, that's it. Wait, no, don't. You put it up in the banner. You see, you say, you go to edit this one. Live Q&A, so people know. You scroll across the bottom for like 5 minutes, and then if nobody has asked any questions, you give up and cry. All right. Meanwhile, we do have a clip stream to go through and brought to us by our socialist friend, Slickarius. Stop it. I wish they didn't autoplay so hard. So hard. True wisdom, according to Slackarius, thanks to the Reaper's Harvest function of the clip stream.
Maybe I'll start a live stream. And then someone said, oh, Jacob's already got a live stream going. Okay, so maybe I'd go over to Jacob's live stream. And then my wife came out of bed and she said, I can't get to sleep. So then it was okay. Now I'm not gonna pay attention to Grim Grizz or Jacob. I'm gonna pay attention to my wife. She's my wife. Part of what you promise in your marriage vows is you pay attention to your wife. So, shut up the computer, pay attention to your wife. So that's what happened. That's why I didn't do a live stream last night. But again, maybe I'll start a live stream. And then someone said, "Oh, Jacob's already."
That is true wisdom. That is true wisdom. What? No. What? Find my reading list. What the heck? What did you just press? It doesn't matter. You can go to this one. No, you can't. You've pressed the. There, go away. There it goes. What the heck was that? Apparently, Brave browser has functions I'm not aware of. Here's our next clip brought to us from Clint D. Most of our lives are like this, but we want speed. From the Agapic Orientation appearance by Pastor Paul Vanderklay, where he was unfolding his soul with our friend Iron Root. Friend? Well, we like him enough. We like him enough.
1 on 2. Most of the time, it's small incremental work. It's what I sometimes call word gardening. It's because a garden is a much better metaphor. You don't. I mean, all you can do that's fast in a garden is prune. Yeah. A lot of the rest of the stuff is just slow. You do a little fertilizing. Maybe you cut away to give the plant a little bit more sun. But it's not unlike healing. So doctors don't, generally speaking, unless it's surgery, doctors don't heal people, but doctors help the body to heal. Pastors don't fix people. Pastors hopefully sort of put people in a place where they can draw closer to God. 1 on 2. Most of the time.
Pesky autoplay, and now one brought to us from Jay or
my main goal,
or our friend mostly not working as far as YouTube is concerned. The TLC goal. To get a little closer to God with conversations with real people.
My main goal is to help people get a little closer to God. And now you can frame that in a lot of different ways, but let's just take that as my main goal. Having real conversations with real people is always better than canned stories. There are books and books of sermon illustrations because people knew that pastors needed sermon illustrations. And so, but it's just gross. Real things in real people's lives are almost always more impactful and transformative. And so, you are a real person, and people who know you, they might disagree with you. They might be different from you. They might if my main goal.
But that was from Mostly Not Working, part of this Reaper's Harvest content filler until the questions roll in this Larpgate Year 3 live Q&A. Our first question at this timestamp, an hour and 9 minutes into this stream, why so early? And the most honest answer I can provide you is in accordance with the sacred order of foolish transparency, is that since my return from Chino, I have experienced what one might consider a vampiric sleep schedule inversion. Going, except much like when I played my friend John's vampire game. What? Yes, you used to play a vampire role-playing game with your friend John. Yeah, he's the one who made the space game where Grimgriz got his name. Oh, with the Dead Space Armada. Yeah, but he was playing the vampire game, and then, you had your vampire look at the Dawn Sun, and he said the whole game was a dream. Oh, yeah. Anyway, why so early? I have a vampiric sleep schedule, except I'm staying up a little past dawn and watching the sunrise. It's beautimous. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for the question. And now we'll move to our next reaping from the clip stream. In the from Clint, he's vying for Chief Reaper, I think. Look at this. All the work. A 33-second one. The appointment friendship. The appointment friendship. Thanks, Clint.
Going to get what you need from friendships, which have in fact sustained humanity for as long as we've had humanity.
Yeah. I always tell people at church that, like, I don't want to be your church friend and I don't want you to be my church friend, because if we're only friends on Sunday at church, then that's a terrible friendship. I want to be friends throughout the week. Like, I need people on Tuesday and Thursday night, and I need people throughout my life. And it's sad that even in the church, we can relegate friendship and to 9:30 on a Sunday.
We're going to get.
Oh, we got another question in at 111. 111 from Jasmine. What's the most potent story moment in a role-playing game you've had? Well, honestly, I don't know that it's going to accurately fulfill the most potent moment because I'm just I say to my large language model that's built into my memory system, I say, quick, a potent story moment from a role-playing game, and what comes up may or may not be the most potent as a sacred foolish transparency. It might not be the most, but the one that came up is once upon a time there was a character named Anton Benoni who was playing in the Deadlands Noir version that occurred at the back of the KABAL radio station with the Dungeon Master Fu. And Anton Benoni had, like, essentially he could absorb evil and then use it. And as a side effect of absorbing the evil, he became super, super charming. And this led to a pregnancy. And then the character lost his life as we were flying in airships at the time. And a demonic airship that was like made of this evil material or whatever was threatening our airship, and it was Anton's airship because he was a rich character, and then his friends were all aboard plus the pregnant lady. So he leapt from his airship onto the enemy demon airship and just tried to eat it all, and that's how that character died. And then I ended up playing a time traveling version of the baby he made, and it was one of the best games I ever played. One of the best games I ever played. Good morning, Dolly. We're doing a live Larpgate Year 3 Q&A to see if I can pull off a Q&A these days. It's not my first attempt. And then we have our third question from Marty. What is in room number 237? Well, that's like asking me what's in the moon. What is in the can anything be in the moon? Is it what they tell us? What is beyond the Van Allen belt? What is beyond the Van Allen belt? And now, in the meantime, between questions, I am filling the Reaper's Harvest, and we're currently up to May 9th from the backlog from these. This one, another one from Mostly Not Working. Me alone with my books, PVK in 10 years.
We're processing in a different way.
Wait, it's a short one too, son of a.
Than let's say, we're processing in a different way than let's say, I did 10 years ago here in my study, just me alone with my books. Sounds like a Simon and Garfunkel song. We're oh my, is Grim Grizz gonna have a field day with this video?
What with a 5-second neutrino with a 5-second clip of just what video even was it?
Is Grim Grizz gonna have a field day with this video?
Individualism, divorce, and homesickness. Well, let's jump back 30 seconds and see what made him say that.
You take your child to nursery at church for the first time, and the child cries, "Mama, don't leave me with these strangers in this room, in this institution." And basically, all of the older women are like, drop the kid off and get out the door. The kid will be all right. And same thing happens at school. You go to kindergarten class and you just see how many are crying. And it's a mark of parenting success if your child walks away happily into the arms of the school district. Oh my, is Grim Grizz going to have a field day with this video?
I can at least address that particular statement, Pastor Paul. What came to mind, honestly, first and foremost, was that at the end of the Vervaeke talk at Chino, he leaned hard into the importance of attachment styles. And let's see if this doesn't pull up a masterpiece, a synchronistic masterpiece. Attachment style research. Go. There's a 3-minute piece. But first, because this guy makes me smile, Dr. Todd Grand. He's his 16th, though. All right, well, all right, the 3-minute one wins.
This experiment, which I watched through a two-way mirror, is designed to gauge how secure is the crucial relationship between mother and child.
Okay, this bunny is going to go here, and that bunny will be on top.
The value of the test has been established in studies that would watch a child, 1-year-old, and then follow it up and interview them about their relationships to their parents when they were 21 years old. So we're quite confident in the long-term significance of this relationship.
After several minutes play, the mother is signaled to leave the room.
Sweetie, I'll be back in 1 minute, okay? I'll get you back in 1 minute.
I'm just obsessing for you. Sharon, I feel. But she'll survive.
The key.
Now, I gave you about your savings throws at the beginning of the episode, and I need to know now how you felt when you saw the camera in the bottom corner go to this symbol, which indicated you could no longer see me while the clip was playing. What was the feeling you had inside? It may be a clue to your own attachment style. And that's the sort of thing we do around here sometimes. Because we need a minute. Well, I don't know. Are you going up there? Well, I don't know. Okay, well, just a second. I've been screening my phone calls, Buddy. This is Buddy the Cat, ladies and gentlemen. A revealing of my attachment style, perhaps. Buddy, how you doing? I've been screening my phone calls, you see. And so I'll stop that so you can have your seat back. Welcome. All right, where are we at? Well, let's see. We're looking into attachment styles. We experimented on the hive mind to see how they felt when you disappeared, while we showed this horrific scientific research that Stephanie calls terrible, that these guys are evil, and Dolly agrees. But in our experiment results that she did not cry, like the baby. Let's see what type of attachment style that was, shall we?
Key moment in the experiment is the child's reaction to her mother's return.
The important clue is whether the baby's able to become calmed down by the contact with the mother, get back to play. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes. You see, when the mother was out, she was only interested in the mother, no interest in the toys. Now she has a contact with the mother. She's beginning to show a little interest in the environment, and shortly she'll be right back with the toys where we started.
So you would call.
And this reveals the exploit and the explore mode, and it like reviewing again the talk that I reviewed from John Vervaeke in the live stream, encouraged by Joe Schmo, where he speaks of home range and home. It seems that in the case of these babies or ourselves in our earliest attachments, the home is the mother, and we can be attached and detached from it. We can be forced out of home range by oh dear.
They don't get encouragement. And people need so little encouragement. It's just unbelievable. And so
And it reminded me of this the understanding I've been comported that when a child, while our brains are forming, when we attach to a toy or a mother or something, we incorporate into our sense of selves, and so when it's ripped away, it feels like a piece of us has been ripped away. That is right. We are doing this live Q&A and filling in with Reaper Harvest clips in the meantime here at this Saturn Day Social stream. But I do want to see if we can get the name of one attachment style from this research we're looking into.
Well, this is a secure one.
Yes.
She's certainly much happier.
So
Open the door following her.
What?
Now, we sent the mother right back in, but the point here is not to distress the baby. We're just trying to challenge it. The baby puts her hands to her face, a sad expression, puts her face down. When she picks her up, she keeps her head down, her arms out, and then she sits in the chair holding the baby. The baby's still sullen.
Oh, it's a sullen baby.
He's low-keyed.
So you would call this insecure attachment?
Insecure. He's avoidant. He's not engaging her, and the reunion's not effective. And it's important to remember here that the thing that upset him was her absence. Her return should be the solution to his problem. Now this is
No, she left me in the first place, dude. She in my So apparently that's insecure and or avoidant attachment. I guess because the child was avoidant when it returned. And with regards to this no, and it wasn't this one. It was the one provided click backwards. No, one that you click too many times. And share this tab.
Oh my, is Grim Grizz gonna have a
You almost called me Gim. What? Okay. So the part we reviewed from that video was about how our society, which also kicks back to the story about how we honor and shame, and we honor the mothers who have babies that can go into school without losing their and so that's how we enculturate in our words. And Stephanie said, I said it in a few words. JBB's communication style just makes my brain hurt. Yeah, it's one of the services I think I provide as a gister in this little corner. But Remember. It's still the live one. Still no questions coming in from this live Larpgate Year 3 Q&A. So we'll move on now to the next clip in the Reaping Hall from May, or in the clip stream in the Reapers Hall on the Discord, which you can join in the description below, where you can also find the Behold It tank, a lobster monkey hoodie, and other links to become members of the Shadow Cabal of production executives that make all of this possible. From Clint, the buying for Chief Reaper, or at least was in May, we have not, that didn't work. Try it again. Oh, it's 16.
We'll just go ahead and go live and give.
Right. What? Where were we? Boy, where did you close the StreamYard tab? No, it's over here.
We'll just go ahead and go live and give everybody a chance. Hopefully the audio is good. A chance if you just want to ask questions, if you're not working right now, or if you're on the dime but you're sitting on the toilet and you want to just hang out for a while, that's cool too. So we'll just.
But I just remember one time I went up to him and I said, it must be wonderful to wind up this universe and watch it play out. Isn't that exciting? And he goes, yeah, it's great, James, except I have to keep winding. But I just remember one time
Of course, it did an awful lot of trying of different cases, you see, but it didn't try every case, not like the chess game. There were too many things. But it was guided by its own stuff. Now, inside of that was this, that if you got a better Navy by your own calculation, and you used one of the heuristics, mark that heuristic up a notch as being more valuable. Now, use the more valuable heuristics first. See? Of course, it did an awful.
Those last two were from our good friend Upcycle Club. And we finally have another question. But before I get to the, what is it, fourth question? I'm going to give another set of savings throws. We're an hour and a half deep into this episode. And we might as well get some fresh ones. Remember, everybody, you can choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. And all of your bonuses that applied before continue to apply. Because, you've been with us this long. Choose survivalist for this portion of the show. Not one. We're gonna get you. I don't know if it's gonna be the Reapers Hall clips or the Q&A, but that's not there. Anyway, socialist. Holy smokes, everybody! The socialist also with a nat one where bonuses do not apply. Sorry, Slack. I thought giving you guys another. Hey, Huggle, good to see you. I ran the Peterson thing you made the things for. Or that was you, right? I don't. Thanks for choosing Grisdom. Wisdom comes in today at the prime 17. And imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Hart also coming in at the prime 17. That's a 1 and a 1 and a 17 and a 17. What's this one? What's the Indigo? Oh, the Indigo folks. They'll figure out what they got. And then now for this live question from Stephanie Christos. What were your top 3? Boy, I'm glad you didn't say 10. Top 3 takeaways from Anachino. Top number 1 takeaway from Anachino. And notice you said Anachino, which is the camping event that was alongside the Estuary Chino event. Number 1 is that around the actual campfire is a place where you can leave your phones aside and have conversations that involve things like mesh networks and private servers and just interesting things that you don't say when you're online or with a phone around. And top takeaway number 2 was it's things get a lot more interesting when you can't just walk away from a conversation. and the spirit of what people are, the reason, the spirit of the commingling union, the attentional focus around the campfire has got to be valuable enough to the participants that they're willing to make peace rather than war when conflicts arise. Was that 3 or just 2? Oh, 3 was buy sleeping bags, extra sleeping bags, and sell them, not just give them to people when sell bonus sleeping bags at those events. Yes, the JBP kaleidoscopy dopey. I read that when I got a drink. I need to go make some coffee. I don't have time for that. Oh, great. So thanks for the question, Stephanie. And thanks for those clips, Upcycle. Here's another one from Zlakarius. From what day are we on now? May 12th. We're up to May 12th, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, am I too winsome? Do I cuddle left and punch right? Probably some of you will complain I cuddle too much on both sides. Oh gosh, that's somebody in the Broken Clock Tower Discord is going to grab that thing.
It's kind of weird. We kind of have to when he says we're going to, right? Or it's weird that we didn't.
The Christianity has been the best.
This one's from Perry. Perry's playing the Reaping game.
The Christianity has been the best thing that's happened to Platonism ever. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Jesus' ability to colonize. He's the greatest colonizer that the human race has ever known. The Christianity.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, we got a really hard question in on today's Larpgate Year 3 Live Q&A from Dolly Furnell. What was your impression of Ken Lowry's question and answer with John Vervaeke? Well, those two are like peas in the pod, and I really didn't pay that much attention to it, and I haven't watched the video version of it yet. But now that I've been encouraged to know that people were curious of my impression, I will view it and provide one shortly. However, I will give you this. Ken Lowry is a damn Vervaeke hog at events. That's what I'll tell you, okay? Like, not only did he get that question thing over there, like they went off in the side room and I think recorded. I don't know if they just had a conversation or recorded something, but they did like another whole 20 minutes in the room just outside the dining hall during dinner. Yeah, well, are you spreading rumors? No. Are you TMIing? I don't know. But there you go. That's my impression of Ken Lowry and John Vervaeke. It's like I don't know. It's probably not that different from Plato and Socrates with those two. So I will make an analysis of that particular question, Dolly. Thank you for the encouragement that anyone would care what I thought about it. Let's see. Lynn has brought us one from May 14th. We're up to now in the Reaper's Harvest. Show it. Are you showing it? No.
I think we all need to go to. I think we all need to go to confession for being on
I've been banned
YouTube
for 5
the
years.
last
Dude, I
5+
got a sock
years.
account that's still banned.
God,
I got a sock account from 5 years ago that's still banned there. I tried commenting the other day. It didn't go through. I'm like, yep, still banned.
I look back 2-3 years ago.
And it was the algo thinks this is relevant to me. Next up on the clip parade, 11 whole seconds from Clint on no, we need to start wisdom rolls for overlords that totally lack wisdom.
Right. And what it should teach us is that the elites guiding us do not have our best interests. They either don't have our best interests at heart,
or they severely lack wisdom.
Incredible deficiency.
Right.
And what it should
He brought us. He brought us two from this. What is it? This Corey Cooper. What? Yeah, Corey Cooper's podcast. But this one is right on point with the secret sacred self as substitute deity.
Expound. There's no meaning to in life in terms of God, religion, or why you were born, but we know you're going to worship something. You have to find hope in something, and we are giving you a new God to worship, and it is the worship of social justice. That's what matters because it's me and how I feel, and so now social justice has to be implemented through your identity.
Sure.
So in my view, we took God out and we made identity a brand new God. And we're finding out that identity is a terrible God to worship because it leads to high suicides and depression.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is look at the fruits of the philosophies and the people that give themselves to it. And you're like, well, why is mental health so on the rise? Why is depression, suicide? It's cataclysmic.
Expound. There's no meaning to in life.
It's cataclysmic, she was about to say, and Hoggle with the alleged elites are either criminal, incompetent, or both. Or perhaps they are what separate the wheat from the chaff. What? A new question from Jasmine in today's Larpgate Year 3 Live Q&A. Are we in the neo-messianic era? This question, thank you, Jasmine. Are we in the neo-messianic area? Brings up a great point mentioned somewhere recently that it compares the way that Neo was essential to the Trinity of the Matrix is how people use Jesus, actually. And that whole you guys will be casting out demons line makes it seem like it shouldn't be, but the whole idea of the Messiah coming versus the Messiah has already been here. That the victory is yet to come or the victory is won is very relevant. Like I would say a defining characteristic of various forms of Christianity, and what the concept of a neo or a Messiah does is it offloads the responsibility of pulling us out of whatever situation we're in to the forthcoming Messiah, and that may be a dangerous path. We're in the age of Aquarius now, right? And I still haven't gotten Matthew's answer on the water bearer, so I'm not sure which era we're in, but we do seem to be in a transitional period, very much so. Purple-haired wisdom, according to Freedom's Lunch. Good morning, Chad the alcoholic has awakened, and by gum, that's enough excuse for me to run his commercial. By gum, I say.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
Hey. Oh, look, everybody, it's Sleepy Chad.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sleepy Chad. How are you doing?
Great.
We're conducting a Larpgate Year 3 Live Q&A. Can you fake a question real quick?
Can I pick a question? There, I just did it.
No, it's supposed to be a question to me, though. And welcome. We're on a Saturday social live stream today, which is why the link was there for you to join us instead of the Buy Me a Coffee Support Me link, which is now lost and no longer pinned.
The question I would have for for you is, what would you have us continue? What should we continue to do as we move forward, as a community? I guess are we a community? Is it a thing? What's what? There.
What should we continue to do as we move forward? That's. I think we're at the cusp of something as far as our orientation, like determining where we are in the layer cake and what our appropriate knowledge compartment need contain. It seems to be where we're at, and that those things that we determine those existing in our knowledge compartment of the layer cake need know, is what we should continue to share and work through together. Because for me, determining where you are in the layer cake, it determines how best to orient yourself. What stance you take is determined by what knowledge compartment you're in. Is that a sufficient answer for you, my good man?
That's great. That's wonderful, man. Uh-oh.
What? No,
What?
Chad's not an alcoholic. What are you talking about?
Well, all right. You're doing a great job. I just wanted to drop it and say good morning.
Thanks for the cameo question, Chad. We really appreciate those around here.
All right, bye.
You're lucky you're leaving. I was about to ask about your dream.
Oh, which dream is this now?
Well, you're sleepy. You just woke up, right? So you must have had a dream.
Okay, this is a good question. What why is it that I don't dream as often as I once did? I almost don't dream at all anymore. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
Yeah,
I know that that's a side effect of cannabis and certain pill medications. So those might be applied. I've also had difficulty with sleep apneas, where you die in your sleep because you stop breathing. That has affected my personal dreaming before when I was having those. But I would say it's probably you're not taking good enough physical care of yourself for your body to generate the dreams. Maybe it's burning way too much energy repairing your system that it would otherwise have spent on creating dreams for you.
Interesting.
But that's just, random speculation from some weird ass on the internet.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, like, I will just notice the dreams if I have them. I think I am always having them. I just don't notice them or something. If like I'm laying on the couch and I fall asleep and it's during the day, and then I start to wake up, then I'll notice the dreams. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Like nap dreams are easier to catch.
Yeah, because I'm not fully. I don't know. Kind of weird.
Well, here's an experiment. When you're falling asleep the next time, envision the dream catcher of optimal grip and see if that helps you remember the dream from that night.
Okay.
All right, and now I'm kicking you off. Thanks for coming by, Chad.
Bye.
Jasmine says, I think if you're more deliberate when you're falling asleep, and I think the dream catcher visualization is a way to be more deliberate, deliberately participate in the act of remembrance of your dream, because where did it go? Remember, embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best. And we have a question from Huggle. If the Messiah returneth, will he be on Facebook or TikTok? Well, if you want to go eat with the lepers, you might have to go there. Stephanie, with my faith teaches me we are meant to participate, not passively wait. Well, what's the name of your branch of the denomination? That might be one of the better ones. As kids, we are so amazed by dreams that we're probably thinking about what magical dreams we're going to have. But as adults, we think about some others. I don't know. I think no. I think it's as our pineal gland is calcified by our piss poor diet. The theater, the shutters close over the theater of our minds. And all right, let's do one more batch of Reaper's Harvest and call it. What? Yes. All right. Which are the next Reaper's Harvest clips to have received the 7 Indigo community bonus? Why, look, it's one from Upcycle Club. Dun, 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 dun.
And so this is my thesis.
James Lindsay on those characteristics.
And so this is my thesis when we say, what is woke? Woke is Maoism with American characteristics, if I might borrow from Mao himself, who said that his philosophy was Marxism, Leninism with Chinese characteristics, which means woke is Marxism. And it's a very provocative statement. And so this is my thesis.
Well, what a thesis to be selling in this culture war time. And now, what must clearly be a masterpiece.
You never step.
What must clearly be a masterpiece, because it has received 4 7 Indigo community rewards in the clip stream from Mostly Not Working. You never step in the same river twice, from our good friend Karen Wong of the Meaning Code, with her interview or visit with Sherry Harkins from the art group.
In the same river twice, and if there are 2 children in a home, both children have completely different experiences of that family, because by the time the second child is born, the family is a different family than it was when the first child was born. And the mother is imagining a certain relationship with that child, but that relationship that the mother is imagining is all tangled up with the father's relationship with the mother and with the child. And the whole thing is this big, complex, relational thing, just like the universe. Very interesting.
And that is a great connection to think about photons and entanglement. I wasn't making that connection, but that is really good. That makes that fits perfectly with what's happening here.
Whoa, that sounds like it was an intense connection. And the next clip to earn a community bonus 7 Indigo die is from Lynn Lavoie. No, you did it again. It's got to be like Control B, bookmark, a reading list. That makes sense. Anyway, there it is.
Part of the don't unpack the wrath of God, please.
I think part of the difficulty of modernity, whose daughter is fundamentalism, is that the heavenly Jerusalem is misunderstood as, now I'm in a Christian Reformed church. I know some of you are CRC. Don't misunderstand me. If you take that out of mythological space, it is the sum of your fears. And I think the reason for this is the incarnation, because Jacob's going to love what I'm about to say. People look through the Old Testament and say, I'm looking for how Jesus is fulfillment. And people have been playing that game. And what's funny is,
whatever he says next isn't included in the clip. Next up, I think I'm just going to catch up on the entire rest of the Reaper's Harvest, because, you're composting it anyway.
The past, it's trying to gather all the data and then warp it and shift it. So your memory is more like a compost pile than a computer file, in which things are, and they're right, very, very, very much. Things are decomposing down so that they become fecund for you for the future. And so for me, what that means is memory is this weird thing because it makes us nostalgic, but the nostalgia is to a very large degree, and you already indicated that, illusory. But it's also perspective. It's pointing us towards this future. Now there's a future available to me that there wasn't before.
Don't you find that that's why it's so interesting that in the Christian story, you have two extremes. You have a paradisial extreme in the past, before the great flood, whatever, like in a time immemorial. Then you have a paradisial image in the eschatological future.
Because it's not trying to.
Welcome to our paradisal image in the eschatological future. And now one from Slack.
The being John Vervaeke and being the fool and the faults and the failures and the vices forever. So, nope, I don't want that. The being John Vervaeke and being the fool and the faults and the failures and the vices forever.
For it.
So I read it, and personally I thought it was great all the way through. And I had to go back to Europe that night, but when I got back, I read it on the plane. When I finished it on the plane, when I got back, I asked Russ to call Charlie, this person, Charlie Kaufman, to first ask him what was the nature of my relationship with his wife, and then to ask him, would he rewrite a Howard Hughes project we'd been working on with our friend Terry Johnson, very gifted English playwright. But
the problem is usually people who think they're wretched but really think they're not.
Yeah.
And so they have this perception of their wretchedness, but they think they should be something else. So because of that, they experience it as a kind of oppression and a kind of bitterness.
So there's
but if you read the great fathers, like this sense of being empty, and of seeing your faults. If you don't think you have much, then all your faults just become opportunities for you to get better. Like that's all they are. They're just opportunities. All your sins become opportunities. All your faults become opportunities.
Wanted to get back to this idea of teleology, which is systems with goals, and in particular, there's a twist on it, which is teleonomy, which is defined as systems with apparent goals. And typically, the way people use that is they think that teleonomy is kind of a hedge. You don't really want to say it has real goals. That would be too scary, and people would be upset. You can say it just looks like it has goals, and then we can sort of get on with the science, and we don't have to. Okay, so I think it's actually much more profound than that. I think the point is that all goals are in the eyes of an observer. Goals are to be defined by some observer that's interacting with a system. By the way, maybe the system itself. It could well be, for complex systems, it could be the system itself. Kind of like Mike Gazzaniga's story of the explainer in your brain that actually tells stories about why you did things. So teleonomy to me is emphasizes this idea that there are observers that see various systems as goal-directed systems.
Teleonomy, Gavin. What do you think? Welcome to this Saturn Day Social episode of the Virtually Not Alone experience. How you doing?
It's been a while since I talked to you, Graham. How are you?
Well, you're looking good, sir. I'm delightful, as always.
That's great. So what's this? I just hopped in. I just wanted to say, hey, what's the?
I'm doing a social. It's good. I'm glad to see you're not spending all of your time with your GPT-4.
Yeah, I've been using it for Bible study and therapy, and use it at work. I use it all the time. gives me answers.
I played Bard. I played with Bard earlier to bring up the hindrances for the Deadland campaign, and we're going to try and squeeze off before the new. I don't know, like you must have just woken up and not known, but this stream was the announcement of the theme for Larpgate Year 4, which is the Fall Inversion, beginning this September 19th, because Larpgate years change on Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Okay.
So that was an exciting part of this stream. But when year 3 we were doing Deadlands, and I brought up the hindrances the players will get to choose from, and how that in the game Deadlands the hindrances allow you to purchase an edge, and that if you in this world find yourself with a hindrance, it may similarly be that your character has purchased you or your player has purchased you an edge. And so if you find yourself with a hindrance, perhaps investigate yourself for the opposite.
Okay.
So that's been fun.
Interesting.
What have you been up to while we were Anachinoing?
I caught some fish, growing some peppers. I mentioned you've got reapers, so I've been trying to grow some reapers.
Carolina Reaper peppers, huh?
That's right. I've got a few of those, a few ghost peppers. My wife is mostly doing it, but I got the seeds going. But I built some grow beds. That's where some of our stuff is growing.
Are you drifting in the real world and away from the corner? Have you even listened to the estuary talks?
I've listened. I'd listen to more of yours. If I'm sure there's a reason, but when it's on live, I can't download it. I have YouTube Premium, so I like to download things and listen.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I know there's a risk I've heard you say there's a risk if you move from live to uploaded, maybe it gets more review or something.
Well, if the channel goes down, the channel goes down. But
I don't know, but I understand if you
hold
your tongue for a month or something, hold your tongue for a month.
It's 2 more months. I got to make it 1 more month. I've already been as behaved as I have been.
I mean,
but,
I think that sounds smart. You can go create a different Gmail account and a different YouTube channel to do truth or speak, something like that.
If you can't tell the truth there, why are you there? If you can't speak the truth to your friends in a place, is it worth your time and attention?
It's like jacking into the Matrix.
It is. This is mission work, like the discussion we had with Paul way back.
I mean, eventually on that side, I know you've said it before. TikTok. Eventually, we have to infiltrate TikTok.
I'm like these 2-minute clips, like we're pulling from in the Reaper's Hall, can easily be converted by TikTok or to TikTok. And I think like, to do it right though, you have to add the word overlay so people can read it at the same time, and maybe footage of you playing a video game underneath it.
Or you got to dance in front of a camera or something.
I am scared to do the research of what the proper and necessary format for success is over there.
I was with my wife over like a year or two ago at this parking garage, and I guess this couple were going to prom, and they were just sitting at the trunk of their car, like hitting play and then doing stuff in front of the camera, and then going and looking at it, and then putting it back and hitting play and trying to do it again. And it's interesting. I've seen a few people doing this where you just do retakes. They're continuing to do retakes.
They're doing their own retakes now.
Right. In public, like they do. To me, as someone who's kind of shy, shy and impulsive, but which is the reason I'm here. But yeah, because I'm shy, I would hesitate to do that in public. Just putting up a camera and talking to the camera in front of hundreds or thousands of people. I'm seeing
right. I was thinking that like if you had shot a TikTok video of them doing that, it probably would have been more successful than whatever they were. I don't know. I would guess it would be.
I'd have to. Maybe I could go to them and say, "Hey, I've got 1 million. I don't know what you call them in TikTok followers. May I record you doing your TikTok?" Something like that. But that would have been.
You would lie. You would lie about your follower count, Gavin.
Oh man, it's an idea.
You've lost the way. You used to try and be the Messiah, and now look, you're lying to TikTokers.
Oh man, you're right. I'm misleading. I apologize.
It's good. Stephanie said that the part that we just ran from the clip stream stuck with her as well, and that's exactly what we're trying to capture: is the moments that work for more than one person, the insights that we can extract and share as if we're panning for gold or some such.
So, what was that part that worked really well?
Oh, the part that stuck with Stephanie? We can run it again. It was the Wretched Opportunities clip from Slack.
Slackarius.
The problem is usually people who think.
I don't. Well, what do I gotta adjust? This one? Are we both? Yeah. Hey, look, there we are.
They're wretched, but really think. The problem is usually people who think they're wretched, but really think they're not.
Yeah.
And so.
I felt the conviction. I felt it.
So they have this perception of their wretchedness, but they think they should be something else. So because of that, they experience it as a kind of oppression and a kind of bitterness.
So there's
but if you read the great fathers, like this sense of being empty, and of seeing your faults. If you don't think you have much, then all your faults just become opportunities for you to get better. Like that's all they are. They're just opportunities. All your sins become opportunities. All your faults become opportunities. The problem is,
like if you're in them, everything is an opportunity. They might be unpleasant opportunities, but they're all opportunities. And according to Chad, Canada isn't doing anything at all.
Well, that wretched part speaks to me a little bit. So
do you think you're wretched, but you're not?
I think there's some subconscious thing. Like this has really been hitting me, and like I guess while you were at Chino, I've been coming up against kind of my wretchedness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's even subconscious. Like if you subconsciously think that you're wretched, you can even like kind of hallucinate or trick yourself into thinking you're the Messiah or something, which seems to this might be something that.
Are you saying you can consider yourself so wretched that it flips inverted?
Yeah. And it might not even be like so wretched. It's just a defense mechanism against the wretchedness that you would then kind of believe, the power of belief that you're not wretched in order to basically ignore the truth. Right. So it's another kind of delusion, basically.
You form a narcissistic shell around your super vulnerable soft core.
Right.
As part of your method of engaging the world in your attachment style, which we also stepped into.
Style. Yeah, I don't have that one yet.
Yeah, that was like one of the ending of one of the talks was how important attachment styles were.
Gripping? Is that the gripping? The optimal?
No,
gripping?
no. The you just watch the replay, bro. We go over it, but it's like when something is ripped away from you, whether or not you attach securely, insecurely, avoidantly, or anxiously to things, I think are the 4 different categories.
Yeah, I think
Sleepy Chad, less Sleepy Chad is now in lobster costume. Welcome aboard.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Good morning. I haven't seen you forever, man. Well, not forever.
It was sad you weren't at Anachino. We were all kind of bummed out you didn't make it.
Yeah, I talked to my wife about it. It's like I'm trying to just kind of encourage. I mentioned that Paul had said, well, somebody's going to have to get something together where it's family friendly, things like that. So, but that takes more work, as Paul mentioned. And so I'm putting the idea out there. It's like fishing.
Yes, Stumps couldn't come because of the child care situation. I think people complain about the demographics being so mostly male is that the males with families that can't come because we don't do childcare or something. Like I don't see if this thinky talky stuff we do is too brainy. I don't see why we couldn't also have like something that was gender designed for the others. You know what I mean?
Well, the camping seems key. Like my wife and I like to camp. We at least like the idea of camping, and we've done it a few times. But Yeah, we would be into doing more camping, and so camping to me is where it's at. It's and there's no reason why you have to go to the event where everyone piles into a room with hundreds of people. You could be at a campsite and you can hang out at the fringes and invite people to your fire. You can have more than one fire.
If we had rented all of those campgrounds, right, then the 3 of them we could have used as lecture halls or whatever during the day, and we could do something like that.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit. I think I'm not sure if we're at that point of what do they call that? What do you call that? Where the criticality thing, where you could actually facilitate a family centric event, because I'm not sure that there's enough families to go around. But I think, like you have the kids table as a when we were kids, the idea of a kids table. You'd have to have like the family table over there or something, where it's like basically. I mean, there'd only be a very small percentage of us who would have families there. I mean, there was literally only one family there.
Yeah, but I mean, it would if you said this is an event that's family friendly and like maybe bring an RV, whatever it is. I don't know how it works out, but yeah, you find out the interest level of families.
Yeah,
so it could be 10 families, and what would be wrong with 10 families going to some place and camping together?
That'd be great.
It's a road trip.
It
doesn't have to be a huge event for.
I suspect there are groups that are doing that already, and that ours forming this way is what's weird. This amphibian internet thing.
Yeah, I mean, normally, like the way that parents meet other parents is going to these like sporting events or dance classes and dance recitals and whatever the children are into. Things like that can happen. I've been asking Michael Sartori the question of, because he said go to church. I'm like, what does that look like with a family? And so I read something about an Orthodox church that said bring your kids, and they had instructions. If your kids get noisy, just bring them out. And that's what I need. I need instructions. So I asked Michael Sartori for instructions. What do you do if you have children and want to go to something? Like,
what?
I don't want to like upset people.
Is that the metaphorical next evolution of mapping? Is like the if then algorithms of those kind of preps for like, not only here's a map of the place, but when you go here are the things that may or may not happen and how you're supposed to respond.
For people like me, that would help. Like, are you okay with, like, I'll hear people complain about some noisy child, at the restaurant, or a noisy child. It's like, well, if we bring children, they're going to get noisy. And
my experience with being in church and there being noisy children is that it's working. It's working something probably useful for me to be practicing, which is patience, and just being like, dude, they're here. Like, and here and like, it's
like, love your enemy. Sure. That's a piece of cake. Love your friends' kids. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I can sense myself like the, what do they call that? Where you have like dissident, thoughts or whatever the hell they call that. But it's like, oh yeah, dude, they're here. It's great. It's like, okay, fine.
As a parent, you might have thoughts of like beating your child, and you don't do it because you love them. But then that if you bring them to another place, there's going to be other people who have similar thoughts. It's like sometimes children can be irritating. Like they get irritated and they express it out loud, and then that expression of irritation is contagious.
Well, I think that we should be more acquainted with being irritated and acting differently than we feel in the right context. Because I think sometimes we're too damn comfortable. We want, like there's just too much curtailing going on for our own feelings to feel better and more comfortable. And it's like, it's good for me to sit in uncomfortable situations sometimes that are, because the problem is probably me mostly. It's not.
I think so too, Ted. You wretched son of a.
See, I mean,
all right, guys, let's do a voiceover and then catch up with the hive mind, shall we?
Okay.
1 and the 2 and the. Remember, embody.
There is
no agency
We want what's best
for
us all.
Us all. What are you doing edits there for?
I spilled coffee during that. I didn't realize I was supposed to be participating. I got coffee on my shirt. I'm like, golly.
Look, it's a smack my head emoji because I ran the wrong clip. Right? Oh, wait. I don't know what I missed, guys. The one where he talks about not wanting to be himself forever. Yeah, that's this whole Kurzweil singularity immortality thing. Like, other than like fear of judgment for your behavior during your life, how could immortality in this life be that appealing for you? Have you not seen enough of the darkness of this world?
But you could die and be reborn, right? The past version of yourself. Like, I might have Alzheimer's, and that just makes it easier for me. So I easily die and get reborn.
What I think is funny about that whole statement, when he made that statement, I was thinking, yeah, but dude, it's not a buffet. Maybe that's what it is. Then what? Then your whole statement about, but I don't want to live forever. It's like, but what if it comes down to, what does that have to do with anything?
Like, your desire means nothing. You're a chicken on the farm.
Yeah, what if it turns out that you have no say and you actually do live forever? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, like, the way that we talk about these things sometimes, it's as if I say it, then that will determine, the reality of the situation. And sometimes I think that it's funny because I've heard him do that a couple times.
Well, that's taking the stance, right? That's orienteering. That's like, okay, so my understanding of reality is this, and there are these places where that's gray and ill-defined. And if I believe that if I take it as an axiomatic truth, if I put my faith into it and make it a belief that it's that way, it changes the possible ways in which I can orient myself because it shapes the frame. And your frame is how you're oriented.
So, some of these people on the internet do the jujitsu, but it's like a one-on-one. So it's maybe they don't know how to orient because they're just used to one-on-one combat.
Mm-hmm.
You basically, if you're gonna, like, I read a Miyamoto Musashi, and there's ideas about being able to take on 500 people at once, and it has to do with choosing the high ground and repositioning yourself. Like, he might not be an expert at orient. Yeah, there you go. He might not be an expert at figuring out the right stance, because it's not just stance, it's also what's your environment. You gotta flow with the environment. Like, there's something bigger than you that's happening. It can allow you to take on 500 people who are obsessed with taking you out, right? So that's what Miyamoto Musashi said.
Yeah, well, he shaped himself to be someone who 500 people would want to beat, right?
I've started going through my books. I have the weirdest books. The Tree Climber's Companion.
What? Does it fit in your back pocket for when you're climbing? Better bouldering. All right, 3 books is all you get.
Soccer skills.
All right. Chad, you got any?
For men?
Alfred's Basic Guitar.
You're over your limit, Gavin. Stop it. You got any other ones, Chad?
Yeah, we got, this is a good one. The Wounded Healer.
That's interesting.
You might not judge a book by a cover, but you can judge a person by the covers he shows on a live stream. Next up, we have the Dark Elf Trilogy from R.A. Salvatore.
Ooh, I've read that. I should read it again.
And the Spirituality of Imperfection. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, reading those books basically shut down all the flow. I was reading those books on my channel, and nobody... That's weird. I don't want to read. Or maybe it's just my reading, but I was like, these are books. Like, they're helpful. And no, people are like, I don't care.
Chad, if you picked a different, like if you created a different channel for reading your books, you might attract a different audience. Like you have different kinds of audience.
Yeah, is YouTube video the place where people go to get amateur audiobooks?
I mean,
but
yeah, maybe.
I think if you like did a section and then talked about it, it'd be different. The straight reading is rough. It's and hard to do for me. But I gotta address this thing. Perry says, "Oh Lord, how long has this been on for?" And like I understand that how long has this been on for part, but why the deuce is Perry saying, "Oh Lord"? Like how long is this replay I'm gonna have to watch?
2x replay. You can 2x.
That's so. I have the DVR people. People just arriving now can try and catch up. I don't.
I'm not a fan.
Last that long though.
I had a conversation last night with a gentleman about listening to stuff in fast speed. I don't like it at all. I almost detest it completely because I personally I want to hear all the different nuances of the person's voice and if you run that stuff faster, it's like I don't want to become accustomed to all of the features of the digital age.
That's a good point because slow talkers are already difficult people for some people to endure. And if you're a person that trains himself to hear people talking at double speed, then those talking at a slower rhythm, a more relaxed pace, to give you time to digest their words that lyrically lull you into a mind-controlled state.
That was actually the whole point that the guy was trying to make. He was saying that he didn't really like being hijacked by things, so he can move it faster. And so
I'm in control here, sir, and we'll play it as fast as I want to talk it. I'll listen slow to the parts where I need to, and I'll listen fast to when you say big stupid words like Instagram emote on screen thingy. Another day, another dollar. I gotta work in an hour, and then what? And then what?
Marty's so.
Marty's good times.
Do you still have those clips? Those Marty clips?
Probably. They should be in the Reaper's room somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, we gotta start figuring out some new clip situations.
What's that about? What's wrong with the current clip situations, Chad?
Nothing. They were great. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about progress.
Well, I like that people are finally playing the 7 Indigo bonus and going through seeing what other people put in the clip stream and deciding whether or not it was valuable. That's very helpful when trying to do these harvests. Go ahead.
So one of your primary presidents of the Shadow Cabal has reached out and was talking about. They wanted to talk about this game, Stealing the Culture game that I came up with.
Yes.
And I was wondering, well, what if we unveil a little bit of question? I can ask you about it. What do you think? The idea of having this game where there are different cards with different players. Maybe Gavin's one of them. It's this little corner.
The corners needed trading cards for ages already. Yes. Okay, keep going.
Yep, and then you have the 4 dice. The 4 dice plus the indigo dice are dice that help you move your players. And so let's say if and it's there are 4 tracks, and then social, hearts, wisdom, and what was the other one? I can never remember. Whatever.
Survival.
Yeah.
See, your death wish hindrance, which we cover, the hindrances we covered in the front. Your death wish hindrance gives you some sort of edge, but it lets you always miss out when on the survival doesn't even occur to you because of that hindrance.
So you have 3 mandatory, basically players that are already on the board, even if they're present in the room. One of them being JP or JVP, the other one being JVV, the other one being whoever. Maybe you have 3 of them.
All right. Do that part again. You lost me.
So you'll have 3 players that are already on the board all the time.
Like mini bosses?
Yeah, kind of like when you're playing the computer or something.
Okay, I'm on board. We'll have Gavin write the Chat GPT AIs for those players, right?
Yeah. Well, yes. So there'll be like Jordan Peterson, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Peugeot, and then maybe Vanderklay or something. So you have those 4 players, and they're all the main guys on Stealing the Culture. And then you have to start rolling the dice. Each of those players are rolling the dice, moving the thing further down the road. Then you can roll, like your Indigos, you can invite a player into the game, like Grim Grizz or Gavin. And then those players are kind of beholden to the guys that...
Like a pyramid scheme. So whenever you move 5 paces, I get to move 3.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey.
You might actually move ahead of that person, though, too.
Well, the dice determine these things. It's how we allow the universe, God or the universe or whatever to determine. We bind ourselves to the outcome of nonsense, and like that's how this decision is going to be made.
So this would be a fun game. I think it'd be fun to develop. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's. I'm working on the Deadlands, like running an existing game as a live stream thing. So I can't really invest in that project, even though it's related to my work and fascinating. It's in direct competition with my. I don't know. I'll play along.
Maybe it's essentially the same kind of game. I don't know, because I don't know what the Deadlands game is.
Well, the main reason I'm running the Deadlands campaign is to see if we can do it and whether or not it would be entertaining, and also because one of the core concepts of Deadlands is the fear level of an area. And to me, that ties in why we protect children from horrible because, like, we don't know how much of the creator we bear the image of. And if our subconscious creates things, then allowing powerful, young, creative imaginations to be twisted toward darkness that young would increase the fear level. And the way that works in the game is like, even though all the player characters are fighting terrible demons and stuff, they can't like tell anybody because it increases the fear level of the general populace, which lets more demons in. And that notion, I think, is valuable somehow, that lens. So that's why I'm running the Deadlands game. But it's just a fun game, too.
It's interesting if you could do that without lying, too. Avoid talking about the darkness without lying. That takes a skill.
That's like the different, for me, there's a difference between LARPing and lying. And LARPing is when things are gray, when they're outside your, like, no, there's what do I call it? Like unconfirmable, or like they can't be disproven. Then they're gray, right? It could be true, it could be not true. We don't know. We can play it either way. Then those things you can do without lying, right?
Okay, so here are a few things that I'm wondering how they might have shaped where we are now. I'll just throw them on the table and you see what you think. Saying cheese for the camera. Cameras themselves, or image, like high resolution images themselves. Santa Claus and
Santa Claus is deep. Deep.
Climate control and nice bedding. How those things shaped us, and possibly plumbing too. Being
saved
separated
us?
Shaped us.
Oh,
yes.
shape.
My mind went to. I thought you were going to ask like, what were the inspirations for those things? Like,
No.
but yeah, how did they inspire us?
or how have they in some way separated us from who we are, or maybe even brought us closer to who we are?
I'd like to add a category to that in a fancy pants rant.
Okay.
But first, let me bring up this Perry comment. Did y'all ever think that Native Americans were right about cameras stealing our souls? No, because I still have mine and I'm on camera. It's kind of like the notion of selling your soul. Is it really yours to sell?
Well,
is that a valid contract? But with regard to what you were saying, Matt, Matt C from the chats, he over on Twitter, he's going off on this rant about how now that we're in the post-truth age of the AI images, we have to face the unreality of imagery, and that's how that's going to unmoor us, but also like force us into, I don't know, something about pictures always being deceptive, or the capability of them always being deceptive.
They were never
now
true.
that we have to treat them all as fake, right?
They were never true. None of them were ever true.
Well, they were always just a perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you shared something on Twitter of the. I think it was you. It was a kid with like a boot on his neck, and then right next to it, it was backed up a little bit, and he was putting the boot on his neck himself.
Well, I would say it feels like they were never true in this way, that life isn't actually crystalline. It's not meant to be a statue forever, a thing that, so like they're only moments, but
and perspectives. Yeah, moments and perspectives.
Yeah, but and then it's like the idea of like trying to read the Bible with a scientific mind. It doesn't really work. So it's
or with the language we have.
Right.
It was written in a different language.
You just gave me a new perspective on the Mandela effect. Like the way that clip was talking about how memory works as a compost pile. Like, and how it they all seep together into things. Like if reality functions that way, then it would make sense that things got a little different as they were remembered over time. And that's wild. But the rant I wanted to go on is toilet paper. Because I was thinking, if I could have Chat GPT really, like if I wanted just to be wealthy, the innovation that it would have to involve like eating, sex, or death, and be a major innovation that was adopted globally. And I think that the possibility is there in toilet paper. And I think that.
Are you talking about pleasuring your orifices?
No. What's the matter with you, sir?
Eating, sex.
Well, those things are good industries to work in, like things that are unavoidable parts of the human experience. But like,
contagious laughter.
Sorry.
I must be the joke, as I have missed it.
No, I was just thinking of I was just going back to what he said, running it in my head again, like, pleasuring your organs.
All right. Happy Saturday social, everybody. You can't. It's 2.5 hours long already,
that's how you make money. That's how people make money. That's
and I hope we've pleasured your ear and eye orifices on this live stream this day. Thank you for being virtually not alone with us. And remember, everybody, we need an innovation in toilet paper. like it's like the better mousetrap, but even better.
Well, they have that, Grizz. It's called a what do they call it?
Bidet?
A bidet. Yeah. But the problem with bidets.
Oh no, you get full screen for the problem with bidets, buddy.
The problem with bidets is that the people I know who use them, I know that they use them because they're like vegetarians. They're like, have you tried a bidet? Dude, you got to try a bidet. I'm a bidet user. You have to try a bidet. If you don't have one, I'll get you one. You have to try one. Like there's like once you have a
I'll get you a this is so great, guys. Have you ever had this pleasure of your orifice being cleaned by a water? No, because
it's because you're American.
You still got to dry. You still have to use toilet paper. It's not a good enough innovation.
If you looked at the numbers, it's the Americans. Most people are eating carp and using bidets.
Eating carp and using bidets.
Yeah,
I'm out. I love you all. Goodbye. Thank you for being virtually not alone with us. Don't forget the Dreamcatcher of Optimal Grip, and to become a member of the Shadow Cabal that makes this all possible. Thank you very much to Gavin and Chad for joining us here today. And Gavin,
do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
Turn off the thing. Thank you, Shadow Cabal. Okay, sorry.
Hey, have a great day, everybody. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Gavin. Chad, Lesser Sleepy Chad. No, he doesn't. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, buy me a coffee. I mean,